Hi guys, this is just gonna be a trigger warning right here. So stop watching if this topic's gonna trigger you. So my Snapchat memories popped up from a year ago today, and I want to explain the story of what happened around this time last year. So I was a sophomore this time last year, and it was pretty stressful. I had no friends at this school. I would go there and I would feel like I'm wasting my time. It was a public school. I would just do the same thing every day basically, and then I would start like breaking down in class, and I would be crying all day or crying for the first two periods or in the middle of the day. Like I would just cry every single day. And I didn't know why I was crying so much, but it progressively got worse. And freshman year is when it started happening, but then sophomore year it really kicked in. And I went to the counselor a few times, and I was basically like, this is hard, like I can't do this, like I don't even want to be here. And they would like talk me through it, and then my counselor that I was talking to before, he was a guy. They switched him out for a girl, and the girl knew nothing about me, so that was difficult trying to explain what I told the guy, and he knew all the background stuff, and I had to like re-explain myself, but I didn't really go into that much detail because I like talking to guys for like a guy counselor. I don't really like talking to girls because I feel like even at schools, no matter who it is, like I feel like the counselors just like repeat what you say and they're like, I understand. Like I feel like it's very fake and just like, then when I felt really bad and stuff, I would just hide it, and no one really knew. And I would just cry at night before I went to sleep too. And I got into triggering myself by watching really bad videos and reading bad things. I would even watch videos like this, story times, to upset me more, which is not good. You shouldn't do that. And then it turned into slowly me feeling hopeless and like terrible. And honestly, at school, I was just like, who do I talk to? Like, I had no one to talk to. Then I started self-harming, and the night I self-harmed, the next day I told my PE teacher because I trusted him. He was a guy, he was really nice, and I trusted him. We walked into the office, and they kind of talked to me about it, and you have to leave, like you gotta be sent away and go talk to someone to see if you need to be locked up. They were like, oh, we can take you or your mom can take you, and they called my mom, and my mom had no idea. It was a shock to her, and she took me to like this medical center place, and they asked me questions, and he was like, do you think you need to be locked up for 48 hours today? And I was like, no, I don't need to be. But I answered like all his questions. They were like, come back if you need to be. So I just went home. I took it very slowly. And from there, every day was the same basically, and I would just cry. And even when I had friends over, like I would cry in the morning before they woke up. Like it was just so bad. I was completely drained. I had no self-esteem. It got to the point where I was texting suicide hotlines a lot, and one day I was texting it and I overdosed, and they said they were gonna call poison control, or I could, and I called them, and they sent an ambulance, and the guys were like asking me questions to write down. They were like, oh, why'd you do this? What do you feel right now? And I wouldn't answer them. Like, I'm not I'm not good at telling people my emotions, and it's really hard. It's really hard to explain what was going through my head when I didn't even know. Um, so I was just kind of like, I don't know, like I basically didn't answer them, and I just felt kind of scared and upset. I went to the hospital, and they made me sit in there, and they asked me like, do you want visitors to be allowed in, because I could make that decision. I was like, yeah, my mom only, because no one else is gonna visit me. No one knows about this. And I just had to stay in there overnight, and they were like, we're looking for a hospital to send you to because you're not safe by yourself. We can't trust you to let you go. Like, this wasn't okay. And my mom, like, I don't remember saying this to her, but I guess she told me that when she asked me why I did it, I just said I wanted not to feel pain. I was just in so much pain, like, and I was struggling alone, and I wasn't talking to anyone, and it was just like, and I was trying to balance school. And even before that overdose, like, there was a back room in one of my classrooms, my English classroom, and there was a cord, and there was desks, and there was like these rods in the school, and I tried to like hang myself by getting on the desk and like getting the rope and stuff, and the school found out about that. So basically, it was just good for me to go away. Like, I needed to go away. They were looking for a hospital to send me to, and there was like 2 options, and one was really far away, and then the other one was like an hour and 30 minutes away. And I went to that one in Fremont. And when I first got there, you just ride in the ambulance. They brought me in on I forgot what it's called, but I was strapped in, and when I first got in there, this girl was like screaming and stuff, and it like scared me, so I like broke down and I started crying because she sounded so upset and sad. I had to take pictures of my self-harm scars because they had to make sure while I was there I wasn't finding ways to do it again. The bedrooms were just 2 beds and then a shower, and everything was like really flat, nothing you could poke yourself with, anything like that. They took all the strings out of your hoodies. There were shorts you weren't allowed to wear. There was like a dress code because the strings and stuff, you could strangle yourself, you can hurt yourself. When I first got there, so you heard about new people coming there like when you were staying there. So before I got there, the girls made me this paper, and they were just like, hi, welcome to the unit, can't wait to meet you. I hope we can be close. You are an amazing person and very beautiful. We had day rooms with a TV, we had coloring stuff, we had activities to do, we had music therapy, we had balanced meals, and the meals weren't bad. And we walked down to the cafeteria. There was guys too, there was a guy unit, but we weren't allowed to talk to them at all because of previous incidents in the past. But their food wasn't bad. I had a roommate, everyone had a roommate. You had 2 beds in 1 room, and my roommate was pretty nice. And a lot of our stories were similar, but what they would do is if your story was similar, they wouldn't put you in the same room, which I guess is really good. When I was in the unit, I even was slowly developing. Even before that, I was developing an eating disorder, and I lost weight in the unit from not eating. And then I remember getting out of the unit and binging and all that and purging, and it was bad. It was really bad. When you got out of the hospital, like, I had to stay there for like 7 days because then they put me on antidepressants, and they had to make sure I was okay with that and my body reacted okay with that. When we went to get a therapist, I told them I wanted a guy. There was only 2 guys, and there was like 10 girls, and I got a lady, and she was not really nice. I kind of just flew my way through therapy, which what I mean by that is, like, I didn't talk. Like, I honestly didn't talk about anything that I went through. Like, she had all these records, and I didn't talk about nothing. Nothing at all. Every time I saw her, I would just talk about my day in school, and that's it. Basically, I'm just glad I'm here today, and I'm just trying to get better, and I'm trying to improve. And yeah, those thoughts will like always be in my head, but I'm finding ways to push them away and not focus on them so much. Because when you do that, you really drain yourself, you really drown yourself in your bad thoughts, and it's not good. So that's it to my story. I just wanted to share it and say you can get through things. Things will be hard. Life is not easy. Life is not handed to you. But you take it one day at a time and you got it.